Tiny owl stops patrol in its tracks. What this police officer saw will bring you to tears. When a little owl started aggressively attacking the passing cars on a busy highway, everyone thought the bird had just gone crazy. But when a police officer noticed a strange glint on its foot, he realized it was more than just a coincidence. Where this bird led them shocked the entire local police department. On that ordinary workday, Officer Jake got a strange call that he couldn't help but greet with a skeptical smile. The message was about a little owl blocking traffic on a busy road. It seemed like it would be simple enough to just shoo the bird away and get traffic moving again. But this story turned out to be the beginning of something much more amazing and touching. When Jake arrived at the scene, he saw an incredible sight. A tiny owl hardly noticeable against the backdrop of huge trucks really had stopped traffic on an entire lane of the road. What was even more astonishing was the determination of the little bird. It wasn't just standing there, but was actively defending its position, making loud calls and taking short flights, yet never leaving its chosen spot. There was a certain special persistence in its behavior, as if it was trying to convey something. When Jake carefully approached the bird, something incredible happened. Instead of flying away, the little bird trustingly jumped onto his hand. Up close, the officer could see it was a fledgling, with ruffled feathers and big yellow eyes. But the most interesting thing was what he found on the bird's foot. A metal band with what looked like a tiny blue stone that was reflecting the light. Any attempts to chase the owl off the road proved futile. Each time, it stubbornly returned to the same spot. With the help of a driver named Ray, a detour was organized, giving Jake time to take a closer look at the unusual situation. That's when he noticed that the item on the owl's leg was not just a decoration, but something more significant. A local wildlife expert, Dr. Stephen Mitchell, was called in to help, as his experience with birds of prey might help unravel the mystery of this unusual creature and the item it carried. When Stephen arrived and examined the owl, he was just as amazed as Jake was. In all his years of working, he'd never encountered such behavior from a bird. After a thorough examination, Dr. Mitchell determined that the mysterious item on the owlet's leg was a trail marker, a special pendant used by hikers to mark their routes. This discovery led to an unexpected twist in the investigation. It turned out that the pendant belonged to a missing hiker named Robert, who hadn't returned from his trip recently. Now everything made sense. The owl wasn't just randomly on the road, she was trying to get people's attention. It seemed incredible, but there were no other explanations. Jake and Dr. Mitchell decided to trust the bird's instincts and followed her into the forest, hoping she would lead them to Robert. Their unusual journey turned into a real adventure. The owl flew ahead, occasionally stopping and waiting for the humans like a true guide. She led them through the dense forest, showing the way with her short flights from branch to branch. Every call she made, every flap of her wings seemed like a sign pointing them in the right direction. Along the way, they found more and more evidence that they were on the missing hiker's trail. Bootprints, broken branches, marks on trees, the forest seemed to tell them a story, and their little feathered guide was the key to unraveling it. Jake and Dr. Mitchell no longer doubted the owl's abilities. From a cute but strange creature, she transformed in their eyes into a noble being capable of a real feat. After several hours of travel, the group arrived at a spot with signs of a recent campsite, a cold fire pit, and scattered cans. Inside the tent, they found Robert's journal, which revealed the incredible story of his friendship with the owl. He wrote about the unusual bond that formed between them, and how the bird kept him company and gave him hope in the toughest times. The terrain became more dangerous. Steep cliffs, hidden crevices, and unstable ground, but they couldn't stop knowing that somewhere out there, a person was in need of help. The owl became increasingly restless. Her cries grew more insistent, and at one point, she suddenly took off from Jake's shoulder and flew into the darkness of the forest. Following her, they discovered a hidden entrance to a small cave, easily missed if not for the persistence of their winged guide. And there, inside the cave, they found Robert, exhausted, dehydrated, but alive. When the owl flew to him, his eyes filled with tears of joy. It was a moment of incredible connection between man and bird, a moment none of those present would ever forget. Robert shared how he met the owlet during his hike, how she started following him everywhere, and then, when he got into trouble, she left him only to bring help. He hoped someone would understand the sign of the pendant he had given the bird, and his faith was justified. The story of Robert's rescue quickly spread through the town, turning into a legend about the extraordinary friendship between a man and an owl. The bird became a local heroine, a symbol that the connection between the human world and nature is not lost. You just need to be more attentive and trust your heart. Now Robert has fully recovered, and his family never stops thanking everyone involved in the rescue operation, Officer Jake, Dr. Mitchell, and of course, the wonderful owl heroine. This story became a reminder that miracles happen, especially when we're ready to see the extraordinary in the ordinary and trust those we usually consider weaker than ourselves. The townspeople now have a special kind of admiration for the owls that can be seen in the surrounding woods. They know that behind those big eyes and small bodies can hide the soul of a real hero. And the story of the rescue owl is passed from person to person, reminding everyone of that day when a little bird did a big deed, proving that size doesn't matter when it comes to saving a life. Don't forget to like this video, leave a comment, and subscribe to the channel to catch other exciting adventures and amazing stories from life.